Hi guys, my name is Nyx, or you can call me Nicole, and in 2021 my life changed forever when I started my small business. So I run SwirliNyx, a quirky little art business that I run from my home studio in the northeast of England. So I was going through some really tough things in my personal life in 2021, and I decided that was the right time for some strange reason to open my small business and start believing in myself as an artist. So without revealing too much information, I was stuck in a job that it was fine. I quite liked it. It paid the bills but it wasn't my passion, and I was stuck in survival mode, especially because I was dealing with cancer and health issues in my late 20s. So at age 30 I went all in and didn't look back. I think I was in such a dark place that art was the thing that kept me going and led me to where I am today. So I started selling art prints on Etsy. That was the first thing I did, and using Instagram as my voice. I now have hundreds of products, 11,000 followers on Instagram, and I have 1,800 orders across my shops online. So I'm not quite where I want to be yet, but I'm still growing, and I've learned so much over the past 4 years that I wanted to share that with you. So I want to tell you the main 4 things I've learned over the 4 years, some of them quite recently, in the hopes that it might help you or inspire you if you're on a creative journey or just starting a business. So I do have some notes here just so I can keep my thoughts on track, and I thought while we chat I would peel some of my wooden pins that I've got here. This is the death moth pin, so I thought I would get some of these peeled while we sit and have a chat. So this may be the most important thing that I've learned over the past 4 years, and that is to commit. When I opened my first Etsy shop and I made all of my SwirliNyx accounts like on YouTube and Shopify, I was all in. I remember thinking to myself that if I really wanted this to succeed, I had to just keep going no matter what. So no matter what happened in my life, even when things were tough, I just kept going. Like, there'd be times where I'd slow down, but I would never turn my back on it, quit or stop altogether. I would just slow down at the tougher parts in my life and then speed up when things got a little bit easier. Discipline is really the key here, because without that consistency and that effort, your followers and fans won't be able to rely on you, like as a business, as a brand, or even as a person. The thing is that all of the social media platforms want you to be consistent. Now, I'm not saying it's quantity over quality, not at all, but you can't just post every now and again or put your product out there or put something out there and then just forget about it for a while and expect your followers to be there and want to purchase from you. You really have to be present for your people, show up for them, and believe in yourself as a small business owner. Oh, and don't forget to cross-post to Pinterest and YouTube and Threads and all of those different platforms to get the most out of your work and get eyes on your business. It's pretty much saying that you have to trust that this commitment is going to bring success to your business. You have to just trust yourself almost blindly. Treat your business like it has 50,000 followers even when you've only got 50. So way back in 2021, 2022, I had less than 1,000 followers kind of thing. I still treat my business the same way I do now. I treat it professionally, and like I had more followers than I did because I sort of knew and trusted that it would grow from that. I knew it would get better as time went on, and the main thing is I wasn't waiting for it to be perfect. I knew I would just get better over time naturally, because I don't believe that practice makes perfect, but practice definitely makes you better. Also, during this process of just committing and trusting yourself that this is going to work, just celebrate yourself. Celebrate the steps you're taking and be positive about it and really believe that it's going to work. I found that even though my business is very personal to me and it's my form of self-expression and my kind of identity, it's really valuable to have that little bit of distance from it, so that when things do fail, because they will inevitably fail, something will fail in your business, whether that's a product or an Instagram reel might not get many views at all, or a YouTube video, etc. Something's gonna fail, and you have to just move on from that. You learn and you move on to the next thing. So even though I am emotionally attached to SwirliNyx, to my business, I can just scrap whatever is failing and move on and know that I've learned something from it. It's kind of like seeing it as a stepping stone path to the next goal. So whether it's a failure or a success, it's still a stepping stone to the next thing. Nothing you do is ever wasted. Even if nothing comes from it, you've learned from it, and that's part of what I love about my business, that everything I do provides some kind of value. For instance, I think it was in 2022, I tried to do these kind of like crystals. I did rose quartz crystals on like a pretty SwirliNyx backing card, and I don't think I sold one. I may have sold like one, I don't know, but it was an absolute failure. So I just scrapped it and moved on, and didn't really think about it after that. It just moved on to the next thing. If you keep being consistent, your chances of success are going to be much higher. Now, the second thing that I've learned that I want to pass on to you is awareness. Now, what I mean by that is being aware of the things that can go right in your business and being aware of the things that can go wrong in your business and your attitude towards that. This is a big one because I've been hit by some surprises in my 4 years as a small business owner, and it's awareness of the costs of running a business. Now, this isn't the most exciting topic to talk about, but nonetheless, it's extremely important. You don't want to be surprised by how much there is to pay before you've even started making a penny in your business. It seems counterintuitive, but it is really expensive to start a business, especially a product-based business. And basically, it's just something to adapt to and be aware of. And now, obviously, it does depend on what kind of business you've got, but you're generally looking at anything from fees for video editing software, cloud storage, business insurance, printers, cutting machines, inventory, packaging material, shelving units, filming equipment, advertising, even down to fees for my Instagram bio links page. I pay for that every month, or buying something simple like glue tape rollers. It all adds up, and it's really good to get on top of your cash flow and your expenses from the beginning, because trust me, it will help you so much in the long run to stay aware of those nitty-gritty business expenses and costs. It also just allows you to be more prepared for anything that goes wrong, any hiccups in the business, like losing products in the post, or say your PC dies. Just to have your finances in order, and accepting these things come with running a business. Like, you will run into problems like these, and just being aware that they could happen at any time. It'll just help you avoid having any nasty surprises further down the line. I didn't realize this in the beginning. Like, I knew there was costs involved, obviously, but I didn't realize just how many and how much it would add up. And I've just had to adapt and add those costs in little by little, and learn to see where the profit has to come from after all that's been taken into account. It really is crazy how expensive it can get. And obviously keep track of your receipts, expenses, etc., because you'll want to get registered as a business as soon as you can, whatever country you're in, whatever the process is for you, and be aware of the bookkeeping involved, and don't just put it on the back burner. I finished peeling all these, so let me just get some more to peel. We're gonna do froggies now. Here's my little alligator frog pin that we're gonna peel now. Okay, let's get started. So the third thing that I have learned in my 4 years being a small business owner is to just keep creating. Starting your business will be exciting at first. It's full of anticipation of that first sale and the excitement of the first market you might do, or setting up your website. In that first year, you will be very highly motivated to do all of the work involved. I know I was. I was working my normal job, and then I was doing SwirliNyx on the evenings and the weekends, but it didn't feel like a lot of work because I was just so motivated and excited for what was to come and the changes I was hoping to get. And I was watching as I hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, but, and this is a big but, you can love something a lot, it can be your passion, and you can still hit that point where it's not as exciting anymore and you will lose motivation at times. My advice here, and what I've learned, is to just accept those lulls, accept it's going to happen, and mainly accept how you're feeling, that you're not always going to be on the best terms with your artwork or your creativity or your business in general. It's kind of like wading through water. But when you have these lulls, I think personally it's really important to keep creating through them. It's kind of like wading through water. Oh my god, this one just won't peel. You can keep creating at a slower pace, give yourself a break, but don't stop, because I found that excitement and that motivation, it will always come back. If you're really serious about this business, about this creative journey that you're on, your passion for it will always come back. It might come back in different ways, or it might take longer than you think, but this kind of excitement and passion for your business will come in ebbs and flows. It's just natural, and it's happened to me so many times over the years. Something I really struggle with is perfectionism, and I've struggled with that my whole life, even at school, and often that is what puts me at a standstill with the blank canvas, because I have this vision in my head and I'll go through periods where it just doesn't match what I draw. I read somewhere once that when your vision doesn't match what you're doing, what you're creating, you're going through a period of growth and you're about to like level up as a creator, as an artist. So I always trust that. Basically, I trust that it is going to get better. I will get through this art block or this lack of motivation, and that it's just a phase in the journey. I've gone through this a few times in my years as a small business owner, and I'm actually going through it right now, where I'm struggling to like anything I make, or it's taking me a really long time, longer than usual, to do something, but I'm still committed. Even though I feel kind of yucky about certain things, or like I don't want to do that, or I'm burnt out from creating, I'm still showing up when I can, being kind to myself as well, and just trusting that things will get better. Just gotta keep creating and keep going and trusting yourself. And it's the same for small businesses in general, where you'll go through seasons where there is a slump, like in the summer, and things will get a lot quieter online, and then in autumn and winter things will generally tend to pick up as the holiday season start to come around. I've learned that you just adapt to it. Perhaps do things in summer that you don't normally have time for, like working on your YouTube channel more, or picking up that extra project that you usually don't have time for. Like I've been wanting to get started with extra avenues of sale, like TikTok shop, or looking into that. And I've also recently set up my wholesale account on Fair. That was like a little summer activity. The key is to just keep creating, keep doing the work, adapting to the situation you're in, whether that's how you feel or what's going on externally, like it's just generally quieter in the summer. At the end of it, you might be surprised at what you find on the other side, or what you create. Now, this is my final and possibly most crucial piece of advice, and something I've learned after doing this for 4 years. And it's the sort of thing you only learn through experience, but sometimes you just have to stop and breathe. This is just about picking and choosing your battles, knowing when to say no and take a break. Running a small business has been the single most exhausting, beautiful and overwhelming thing I've ever done in my life. I've put in more hours than I've ever done at another job, and financially I'm still not there yet, but I'm far happier and more fulfilled than I ever was. But you have to keep stopping, breathing, and looking at the big picture. Don't let it run away with you. Don't let it take control of you, because it's very easy for your business to just flounder off into its own thing. You get carried away doing a certain product or manufacturing things when you'd rather be designing. And it's important, no matter what your goals are in your business, to step back and keep taking stock of what's around you and if it's going in the direction you want it to go. And you might even get to a point where you're wondering what you're doing anymore, whether you even enjoy what you're doing. Maybe you've started going down the avenue of heat pressing a load of mugs and pouches, and this is just a random example because I have not deliberately got into heat pressing for this reason, because I don't want to get stuck manufacturing everything I design, because I just simply don't have the time for that. I'd rather my time go into all of the design work and then outsourcing my manufacturing. Now, some businesses would rather do that the other way. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. The point is to make sure you're doing what you want to be doing, what your goal is, what makes you happy in the business. So for instance, recently I realized that I had a huge variety of products in my store, and I thought that I kind of needed to do that to appeal to more people, and the bigger variety, the more sales I would get. And I've only really recently just learned that this isn't the case at all, and it's just not sustainable either. I've decided to downsize my product variety, and I'm slowly weaning out certain products, like my art prints that are kind of like art print postcards, and my long bookmarks, and certain designs of earrings and things like that, and I'm going to retire them. And I've never really done that before. I just thought the more products I had, the more sales I'd get. But save yourself the time, prioritize your energy, prioritize where you want that energy to go. If you've got bestsellers, focus on your bestsellers. If you've got an absolute favorite product that you love to do, focus on that. Whatever brings you the most joy, whether it's things like content creation, making stickers, making candles. They say don't put all your eggs in one basket, but I say don't put your eggs in too many baskets, because you will risk losing your way or becoming overwhelmed by the amount of eggs in baskets that you've got, and you may eventually just reach burnout. In terms of burnout, it is something I've experienced 2 or 3 times in the lifespan of my business, having never had it before in my life. And it's something I'm actively trying to tackle by downsizing, curating my products more carefully, cutting out tasks that I may not want to do or enjoy, so that I can slow down, breathe, take that step back and basically manage my workload better, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed in your business, in that creative journey, especially when you're excited. We tend to give ourselves too much to do, and it can be sad sacrificing those things that you want to do. Like there's certain projects that I've wanted to do, or designs or content, and I just simply don't have the time, and you're basically just prioritizing what's the most important to you, and the rest just has to be sacrificed. You might be excited about all the things, but can you really do all the things? It's like a discipline in itself and a commitment in itself, where you are aware of your own energy levels. Perhaps you've got health issues. We all only have a finite amount of time in the day. Don't compare your workload to someone else's workload, because I have done that and it's not a good thing to do. It's not productive. People are on different paths with different priorities, different battles themselves. Focus on yourself, focus on balance in your business, and it's about balancing your business goals with your well-being. It's just, I've realized how important it is to do that, and I've only just realized that in the past year or two, for this to be a long-term success and not just keep burning out constantly. It may feel really bad to make the sacrifices that you're gonna have to do. Like for me personally, content creation takes up a lot of my time. I've realized that it eats into a lot of my art and design time, and I am going to have to pull back some things that I do, like less videos, etc., so that I can get that art time back, because that is more of a priority. And I think I'm going to look into some ways to streamline my workflow with social media and marketing and content. But the point is to evaluate what works for you. You might be doing this part-time, full-time, the odd hour after you pick up the kids from school. So just make sure you're taking time for you as well, because that personal time away is so important to not just the longevity of your business, but the productivity of it and the joy of it as well. Don't be afraid to make the changes that are necessary, the sacrifices, change things that need to happen for your own well-being, because you might be surprised that your business will just adapt to you, and your followers will be there for you and support you as well. Because mainly small businesses are about the person behind it, not just the artwork, not just the products, but your customers, your followers are interested in you, and they will care about your well-being as well. So I've just finished all my froggies. Here they all are, how cute. I hope these lessons I've learned could be a little bit helpful to you on your path, your small business journey, whether you're starting out or you're a couple of years in. Remember that growth and success takes time, but your efforts will pay off. Your commitment, having that awareness, keeping creating through the tough times, and having a balance with your life are all really, really important in running your small business. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I wish you all the luck in the world with your creative journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave any questions you've got below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, Swirlies.